talk.
All right, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. How is all right? We're gonna do this introduction, ladies and gentlemen. We got Chris Taylor, man. He's been on the hip hop scene. Go back with it. A true pioneer. You know what I'm saying? Part of the culture. That's what Conversations is about. We are about the culture and getting everybody's word out there. All right, so I want to start here. Give me your introduction to music. What got you even wanting to just fool with music?
Wow, man. Well, I started off in music as a vocalist. I was I went to this choir called the Mitchell Boys Choir. They were like the Vienna Boys Choir. So I just went in. I just made the cut. I was the last person that didn't go. And so I was 9. So from there, I learned when I was 12. I learned how to play the organ from a gentleman named Toussaint McCall, who was like Billy Preston on the piano. He had a record that went gold. So it's funny. I went into his parlor where he teaches the art. I walk in, I see this gold record on the wall. I'm like, "What's that?" He said, "Oh, you learn how to play this, and you can get one of those." I said, "All right." So that's who Toussaint McCall got me into the music business. I learned how to play the organ, but everything else was, I didn't make no, actually I do have some organ parts on some of my records, but I didn't make the money as an organist.
I feel it. I feel it. Now, what musicians kind of influence you, like music that you used to listen to on the radio or whatever, or at home on records?
Well, I used to, my music at that time was mostly pop, like, where I was, it was K-Day and KGFJ, but everything else was top 40. So we didn't really, unless it was James Brown or somebody, we wasn't really in the top 40, you know what I'm saying? So my influences were like Boss Skaggs, Steely Dan, then into Earth, Wind and Fire, and then Parliament, of course, mainly. But yeah, that's and then Ronnie Laws. I liked a lot of Spiral Gyra and different types of jazzy things. It's and then I use all kind of music in my creations. I'll go from, I don't know, I'll sample a polka or get some chamber music or something. I mean, that's how we do it. It's just music.
There it is. There it is. Now, did you when you was younger, were you in like different groups? You know what I'm saying? Just testing the waters. How did you start to facilitate your skills?
So when I was younger, I had a yeah. When I was like 18, I put together a group. It's me and my homies. I made a group. It was me, really, but I just had 5 dudes in the group. So I got this singer that sounded like Howard Hewitt, and I was writing all the music. But I had like a band. Only nobody could play nothing except me. So you know what I mean? It was like I was Prince in the time. Only it was all Prince. He played all them parts. So that was about maybe around, I was 20, 21, right around the time I started DJing too. Like I was DJing already, but I wanted to do music. So but I got into DJing heavy, and that's what really got that thing going, man. Once I started being a DJ, I wanted to make music like this, what I was playing. Like, how do I do this? So the whole DJ route I had to learn, like just to learn how to be a DJ. When I was becoming a DJ, I was like, okay, I want to be a DJ, but not on the radio. Okay, what? I want to play records and put them together. And so what do I need? I don't know. Nobody. No, I found out that there was 2 turntables needed and a device that went in between to make you go from back and forth called a mixer. But a mixer all had knobs back then. There was no crossfader. So I was going to Radio Shack every day. They let me hook up these 2 record players. Notice I said record players and not turntables.
Yeah.
And I would go back. It was no pitch control or nothing. I was just trying to, I remember my first mix was One Nation Under a Groove and Herbie Hancock, something like that. I just put them together it was terrible. It was a train.
Breaking up a little bit. Bring it back.
Oh,
Your signal going out.
how about now?
We clearing up.
Cleared up better?
There you go. There you go. All right. So
So
you said it was a terrible mix.
terrible. So in the meantime, I got a job at Burger King. Um, I was in college. I was going to be a rocket scientist, blah, blah, blah. And I decided to be a DJ, which I don't know what the hell came over me. That's how you know
Now,
it's
where
God.
were you? Like where is this taking place? What city is this taking
Los
place?
Angeles,
Okay.
all in LA, bro. It's nobody doing what I'm doing. Like what I'm trying to do. The only way I met a guy at Burger King named Tony Joseph, rest in peace. He was a DJ. He said, we were working there and I was like, man, I'm trying to be a DJ. He said, DJ? Like what, mixed records? I was like, yeah. He said, I'm a DJ. Come to my house after work, I'm gonna show you something. I was like, what? So I go to his house. He pulls out a record player. So I'm like, I got that. He gets his mom record changer. So you remember he had an 8-track, a
Yeah.
record. So he hooks this up, he pulls out this box, he unwraps it out of some fucking cloth. It's a mixer with a crossfader. Realistic had a mixer with the crossfader. They
Yeah.
didn't have it at my store where we were going. So he made me a mixtape and I watched him. He was blending records perfectly, putting them together because one had pitch control and one didn't, but he was working it. He showed me all kind of tricks, how to flan, how to phase the record. I was like, man, I was just like, and then but it wasn't like what I do. It was still the mixing part, but he took me through the tech part, right? So
Okay.
after that point, I got into, so I got that and I bought a record called Grandmaster Flash's Adventures of the Wheels of Steel. And I was like, this is what I want to do. So I listened to it a million times. I didn't know how he was making the record go wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And this fuzzy sound when he would scratch it, which I realized because he had old records that he'd been cutting, they had the dust before they wore them out. So, and it's hard to use new records. You need the ones that got the grooves in them. So, anyway, I had to reverse engineer the Grandmaster Flash Adventures on the Wheels of Steel. And so I figured it out. My mother. So, all of this adventure, so let's back up a step. I went to college. I graduated from high school. I'm 16, 17. I go to college. I'm supposed to be aeronautical engineer. I get there and I quit school. My dad is like, yeah, because what happened was the space shuttle took off and I was wanting to design the space shuttle and I didn't know no secret NASA shit. I just was like trying to go to school and make something that could come back, right? So that happened. I quit, right? So then I went to Santa Monica and got in this whack broadcasting program because I knew I wanted to be a DJ. I just didn't know what it was. So I applied for a student loan. I got $2,500. So I asked my dad, I said, look, I want to be a DJ. I'm not going to buy no books. Can I use my student loan to get the equipment I need? He took me to Federated and I bought all the turntables. I got 2 Beat 1 turntables, Techniques, belt driven, a mixer, a Newmark mixer. No, GLI, a GLI mixer. No, it was a Gemini mixer.
Oh, the Gemini.
And then I got some speakers, amp, all that shit. And I went home and commenced to practice it. But I still didn't want to be in music. I just wanted to be a DJ. So the whole thing with music came from doing that.
So your dad was pretty supportive in your whole process. He believed in it.
My mom and dad, anything I wanted to do, my mom still to this day. If I have an idea, she 100%, bro. I'm like, I want to make monkey chips. Baby, where can you get the monkeys for the monkey chips? Let's go. I want to do, okay, so here's one. And around 2017, cannabis became legal in California. So I called her my mom. I said, Mom, I would like to grow weed at your house. She go, baby, if it's legal, come on over here. And they bought me the grow tip. Me, her, and my sister, they set up my business. I now have a business, Sweets, pre-rolls, because of that move that my mom made. Just like the music with my dad. They with your kids, roll with them, bro. I don't care what it is. Give them all the support. Man, that's a great idea. I don't care if you think it's the dumbest shit ever. You might not understand it. And if you give them technical advice to get through the humps, all of a sudden you're gonna be like, wow, this is amazing. Man, support your kids. That's how we get a better society. But yeah, they were quite supportive.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, because a lot of times parents will shit on the kids' dreams because they don't understand it. You know what I'm saying?
You put that shit so real. They surely do, bro. They will shit on your. What the hell you talking about buying some records? Boy, you better go get them books.
Yeah. You know, and I think that's just so dope. And I can tell their support played just an instrumental role, you know, especially at a young age, and being like, all right, I can do this. You know, and at the end of the day, especially with our youth, they have to try things out to figure out what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And as parents, we have to give our kids these opportunities. Try it, see if you like it, love it, or whatever.
Yeah, bro. Like, you know what, man? So realistically, you really only learn when you fail. Because, like, do shit right, you did it right. You ain't even really writing down, like, unless you're a scientist and get the process and you wrong. Oh, right. Most people, you don't learn until you fuck up. You're like, okay, how do I not do that again?
Wow.
That's how we progress. I've made more. I joined a secret group of, it was all double-digit millionaires, right? And I just spoke at this group. And these cats, only thing they could talk about was their business failures. You couldn't talk about nothing but your failures. So imagine if you're about to start a business, and you're about to buy, oh, I'm going to start a bus line, and I'm going to have strippers on it. I'm going to buy 50 buses, and they're going to cost this much. I got it all set up, business plan. And you walk into this meeting, and this guy did the same thing. He said, you know, I found out that the insurance on the buses and the da-da-da-da for the dancers ended up, oh, insurance. Like, you didn't even think about the shit that tripped him up. He going to mention it to you, and you're going to go, oh, and find a way. So, you know, failure is the advancement of society. Don't believe nothing else, man. It ain't about the achievements only come because of the failures.
Yeah. People get so caught up in end results, and they don't really see that grind that you put in. You know what I'm saying? As they say, they ain't see you when you was practicing in the gym.
Yeah, they don't got that video. They didn't see when people say, get out the gym. They turn the lights off on you. So you got to shoot in the dark. And they okay, so this new musical generation now that's doing hip hop, they seem to feel like the OGs are hating on them and talking crap about them. So this is nothing new. When I started in the music industry, they didn't want us. Bro, I could tell you a story about Curtis Blow. My boy Bernard told me this story. He was on the road with Eric Sermon and Curtis Blow, the first rapper.
Right.
He's on the road with Confunction.
Okay.
When they go to perform, Curtis, after the show, the band members, so Curtis Blow and them 19, 20 years old, young dudes. These men in Confunction are 35, 40, they men. They meet these dudes with bats, and they break their turntables every night. And they say this, ain't nobody gonna stand up here and replace us with no records. You playing records. We a band. Bro, it's so many stories of that. These kids we're the ones, or not me, but my age group is complaining to them. Dude, they soft. Ain't nobody rolling up with no bats talking about you whack, get out, bop, shooting them. Man, they was on us. My mama, don't tear up my record player. You can't listen to the radio because you damaging shit. You know, and they hate the music. And then I'm a scratch DJ, so I'm record. They're like, you tearing up the turntables, you breaking the needles.
Man,
But it was like on steroids. It wasn't simple. They were angry about it.
You know, especially when you're doing something that they couldn't even fathom. Like you say, it's a record, and you bringing in this whole new thing. Because I think the disconnect with today's rappers or whatever is basically it's really more constructive criticism. You know, nobody's trying to stop them or you know what I'm saying, or halt their movement, but really trying to show them, like, work on your craft.
My boy on here, man, just said it's even in his business. He's a firefighter, right? He's a retired fire captain. And he said, you should see their attitudes. The cats are weak. It's the same. Society, look, man, they got a quote. I think I'm going to fuck it up, but here it go. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. Hard times make strong men. I think I did it right.
Yeah.
Cycle. So we came up through hard times, and then all our kids got money.
Yeah.
And all of them, because some of them became firefighters, and some of them became police officers, and all of us didn't make money in music, but we all wanted to make it easier for our children. We came up in the generation where we gonna make it easier for them. So we did. And guess what? The next ones, it's going to be hard for them.
That's true. That's true. Now tell me about this. When did you start getting introduced into the industry? Like when did you start getting your feet wet, and how did that process take place?
So I started in the film industry, film music industry. So my first experience in professional, other than being a DJ, was making the music for the film Breaking. And so I did that. And when I did that music for those scenes, the authentic dance scenes, that was original music that I created. That was the first time I created music ever.
Wow.
And I got paid, put in a movie, blah, blah, blah. So like, you know, I didn't start at the bottom. You know what I mean? He's like, we gonna make a movie about where you DJ. And I had a girlfriend at the time named Lisa who heard them talking about the music and ran over and got me and said, they said they're gonna get Afro Bambaataa. You just bought that drum machine. You should tell them you make music. I said, hey, I make music. They said, how's 20,000 a track? Is that a lot? That's fine. And they needed 3 things from me. That's 60 grand. And then I turned around, and at the end of the day, these are all in the movie, right? They got the soundtrack and all this music, and I say, you know, we don't have a talking song. That's what they should call rap. If you look on Ice-T's credit, it say rap talker. So I said, yeah, for another X, I can go and make a rap song. So I called up Ice-T, shot him whatever he wanted, bread, got me some bread, and when it made that, I probably made like 60, 70 grand before the movie came out.
And then especially back then, that's heavy.
Nigga, I haven't looked back since then, but you know, it's like that's how I started making music. So my first record was a movie record. So then it took me almost 25 years to get back into the movie industry through that. Wow. And I became a composer I was doing the music for this TV show called The Parkers. I did the music for 5 years for the Parkers. We worked on Girlfriends and All of Us and everything on UPN from 2001 to 2006. I did all the music. This group did all the music on UPN between the news and the cartoons.
What? Wow.
Farquhar was that composer. I was a ghostwriter. That dude he got more shows composed than any other black person. But he had robots. He had cats like me working.
I think that's very interesting because a lot of people don't really look at that aspect of the music business, like for film and television.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not really. So everybody want to be a star, right? I just want to eat and get paid. I don't mind. I'm a star in my own mind, so I don't care about that. I smile and sign autographs. I've been doing it since I've been signing autographs all my life. So it's nothing. I'd rather have just freedom. So just real quick, I'm gonna segue to Kanye West and his talking and rant. I feel like that is the most wonderful thing I've ever seen. I don't care what anybody got to say. That's a free man talking. He can say what the fuck he wants, and they can't stop him. So I don't care if it's good or bad, and I don't care if he's influencing your kids, you an asshole. He ain't influencing my kids. He can say all the shit he wants. He's a piece of shit with that. He can say, or he's a great man. I care less, bro. He's living in his world. He's wearing black, white, whatever, White Lives Matter shirt. Why all of a sudden everybody mad? They wasn't mad when it was Black Lives Matter. Now they mad because he wearing a white. I don't even want to discourse it. I just want to say that I feel like he's free. And so that's what I want to be, free to say and do as I please. And it takes financial freedom. They can't stop his money. They can't do nothing. Cancel him. He gonna be on an island somewhere talking shit to some people that's want to kill him and having church. And so I don't really care about what he said, what he didn't say. That's not important. It's all right. This part, we got to protect free speech, bro, or else it's fucked up. I don't care if you like it. That shit don't matter. Look, everybody talks about God. Let me tell y'all something. How many people on earth? 8 billion? It's 8 billion gods, bro. If you think your God and the person sitting next to you, God is exactly the same, you out of your mind. Everybody got their own thing. It's called an opinion. And so if everyone has an opinion, how about everyone can have their opinion instead of us telling people what opinion to have? And let's enjoy all these way out. Kanye funny to me. I like it. It's entertainment. I feel like I don't agree with every opinion. It was so much humor for me for Donald Trump. The only reason I was upset because my mother had him on 3 TVs in the house the entire time. She watches CNN every minute complaining about everything he said. So he giving her grief. I'm like, mama, turn this shit whack. Other than that, bro, let people live and be what they are, bro. Just that's cool.
Yeah. Because once you start going down that slippery slope of telling people what they should and what they should not say, that's a slippery slope. That's a very slippery slope. We cannot get into that mode where you can say this and you can't say that. I don't got to agree with it. That's your thing, and whatever come with it, cool.
Right. Exactly, man. It tripped me out how people walk up to you like they could just stop you what you doing. Like, excuse me. No, nigga, I'm busy. You was over there, you saw me over here, and you like coming over to ask me something. Nah, man. And that's another thing, man. I don't waste my time. I spend my time. Like I use my time like a banker. I'm gonna use these moments, I spend them. If I'm kicking it with you, I'm aware of what I'm doing. You might think I'm wasting my time or whatever. I'm spending it. It's mine, you know?
Yeah.
And I enjoy people that spend their time with me. And that's what I honor and respect. You know, opinions, everyone's opinion. If you believe in aliens, bro, aliens exist in your universe. Just because I don't see him don't mean shit, bro. I didn't see the nigga behind me that stole the car over there. That mean he don't exist? It's all just relative. And the last part about, while I'm on this tangent, is real quick since we're having a conversation. I really enjoy this same thing with these opinions. There's also a thing called perception. And let me tell you something. You can sometimes debate a person. A wise person may change their opinion or not. But their perception will never change because they can only perceive from where they are. I can only see out of these eyes. So for me to change, I got to change myself. You cannot change me. I have to make that decision inside of me to be different. You're welcome, Shadies. So I'm going to tell you, you have to be aware that everybody is the same, bro. Let them have their shit, bro.
Because for me, I look at people's opinions and perspectives as a tool. Like I get an understanding of that person.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I see how you think.
I think that's what it's for.
Yeah, not that I gotta agree with it, don't agree with it, but I understand you as a fellow human, as a friend, as a comrade, as a coworker.
Help you interact better too.
Yeah, I know how to deal with you.
Man, I figured something out too, man. I learned something. I've been listening to a lot of Toltec wisdom books, and I learned that everything we're talking, all these words. So first of all, this should have me cracking up. These symbols, you see how we got these people making comments? Those symbols we call letters, those are squiggly lines that we made up and we agree what the fuck they are. This shit don't mean nothing but what we agree that it means. God don't speak this language. We made this shit up. God told us, go name everything. That means take your gibberish over there. That's why the Bible will tell you the man's knowledge is nothing but folly compared to God. Like even how we communicate, we made it up. Humanity is made to create languages and to remember long strings of numbers. I don't know what the fuck that means, but that's what we can do. We can remember phone numbers, ain't nothing. 10-digit number, bang. I know cats got all their credit card numbers memorized. But the point that I was making was, with all of that, the most important thing is to understand that everybody is a being and all of us matter for real. All of us. Like, when we cross paths, it's to better the other one. It ain't to make it worse. You got cats that kill and rob and steal. I'll tell you, man, there's a murderer that kills a person and decides to stop. You can't tell me that ain't never happened in the history of life. I can tell you about Saul, who was the biggest killer of Christians, and then God said, hey, fuck that. And then he stopped doing it and he wrote most of the Bible. So I'm telling you, that exists in life. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a perfect thing or it'll happen all the time, but you know, everybody gets good and everybody gets bad. We all get that. We're going to live, we're going to die. The sun shines on everybody. It's what we do with the in-between that matters.
Yeah.
That's all.
Now let me ask you this. I want to take it back to this. You were in LA. Like, how were you keeping up with the music scene that was on the East Coast? Like how was you keeping track? You know, like, okay, I see, you know, Grandmaster Flash. How was you keeping up with that?
It was none of that. This is how it was back when I was coming up. Your cousin's friend came with a tape from Baltimore that he got a bootleg from New York, and we all in the room listening to this mixtape. And I hear these cats rapping and they scratching, you know, and it's 8 months old because it had to come by foot or mule, basically. Nigga, you know, they go to see the cousins in the summer in Compton, and they from Texas.
It have been in 5 houses, 3 basement parties.
Nigga, yeah, 1981. So you're like, whoa, it was no keeping up. So even when we started producing, fast forward to 1990 or 1988, you got NWA. When we was doing, when I got with Dre in 89, we don't care what other people make. We don't even listen to other music. We go to the studio every day and we make music and we put it out and deny somebody to say it ain't dope. Matter of fact, we knew our music was so dope, we had to find a name that was equivalent to dope. So The Chronic was born. It's the same way to say my record is dope. That's what it means. This is a dope record. But we didn't want to use cocaine.
Right.
So there's no record on there about smoking and getting high except for the Roach, which we did at the end, which was like a skit.
Now, how did you get cool with Dre?
You know what? I had a friend. So okay. So remember, I told you I did the movie. So I did the movie. At the same time, I was in Shaka Khan, I Feel For You videos, the #1 song. I'm in the video. I did the movie. I'm in LA. I DJ at the #1 club. Like, it was like the Tunnel. It was paradise, but you had to dress up 1,500 people. So I'm a low-key, like, local celebrity. So Dre hooked up with me. He came to see me at my house. I met Dr. Dre when I was taking out the trash. My boy brought him over and said, this nigga want to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And he pulled up. So God does that for me. Like, I met you. I'm sitting in my car. Here we go. He brings them right to me. Like, you ain't got to go nowhere, dog. You all right. So Dre came up in the crib. I had my gear set up. I pushed play on the thing. He was like, oh, I like how you work. I need somebody, though, that, like, knows and understands, you know, how to make records. He was talking about engineering and mixing and shit. I said, oh, yeah, come over here. I'm mixing some shit. I want you to come see what I'm doing. Right. I showed him the SSL mixer. This dude ain't never even seen nothing like that. He was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to sign you and whatever the fuck you got. The place I took him was Can-Am.
Uh-huh.
And you know, Death Row took over Can-Am.
Oh.
I showed them Can-Am. Me.
Wow.
Yeah. All that shit. Yeah, it's a lot with that. But, you know, so to get into the music, I have been trying. So remember I was a DJ and I'm at this club and all of that, right? So I started working with people like Quincy Jones and Bobby Brown and Los Salas Jr., rest in peace, all these big producers, and doing scratching. I'm on Weird Al Yankovic. You know, I'm scratching. I'm in all the studios scratching on records. So then cats got seeing you, and you know, you learn and pick up. You know, I'm working with Quincy Jones and Bruce Sweeteen. I'm listening. You know, I'm 23. I'm like, yeah. So I'm just gathering up knowledge and information, bro, and just, you know, I was ready when Dre called, like, I need to do this. I was like, boom, let's go.
What was like one of the biggest lessons you may have learned from the industry? What did the industry really teach you?
Shit, I grew up in the industry. It taught me you have to really look out for yourself, bro. Like, if you're not looking out for yourself, there's nobody looking out for you, bro. If you turn around and don't look, you won't see. And a lot of people, not saying that they were the people that I was working with, but a lot of people will hide things from you, you know? Mm-hmm. So then you got that aspect. So I just learned that you just have to take care of yourself. That's the most important thing I learned in the music industry. You really can't trust no one, literally.
Right. Are there any current projects you working on? You looking to get out or anything like that?
Well, as a matter of fact, yeah, man. You know, I got a record out right now called Red Shirt Freshman. It's basically, after all me producing all these rappers and vocalists, I decided to rap myself. So now I got a rap album called Red Shirt Freshman. It's just me. I got no features. No, it ain't me and 18,000 other people that you want to hear. If you fuck with me, come listen to me. I got like a few of my friends that do a guest appearance, and that's it. But, you know, I'm not selling them. You won't see their names on no promotion because it's all about what I'm doing. But Red Shirt Freshman is my foray into just having something to say, you know. I wrote my lyrics. I have a couple of songs that were written for me, which got me into it. But, yeah, I started to, you know, everybody complains about what music is. And then you got these guys. I'm 60, bro. I didn't rap until I was 60. And you know what? I don't even care what people think or say. I'm going to win my Grammys. And so this is the secret. My record, two things. Number one, it's a business card. Instead of telling cats how dope you are and saying this and saying that, why don't you, if I can sound like this, imagine what you can sound like if I produce you. You know what I'm saying? I make myself sound like this. I can make you, I'll shine you. It's a business card. So, and the other part of it is a living album. So I'm only going to put out one album of mine. And I'm going to keep adding music to it. So I'll probably, like, if you notice, Dre only got 2 albums.
Right. Was it 2? Yeah. Because we're still waiting on that.
2 albums. The Chronic and the Chronic 2001. That's it. Dr. Dre has 2 albums. He gonna make 1 more. That was the whole plan. I'm only doing 3 albums. It's 2 of them are done. And the 3rd one gonna be about the Chronic 2. They all the same. Instead of me making 2 albums, I'm gonna just make 1 album and add all the songs to it as I go. So when I'm done, at the end of the day, it'll be 40 songs on there.
Yeah.
But if you buy it today, you get it for $40. If you buy it, now this is the catch. So once the promotion starts and it starts getting popping and everybody get on a dick, the price is going to go to $500. Because all those bandwagon people shouldn't get the same juice as the people who was fucking with me from the jump. You know, it's like stocks. You got it early, so you got it good. And you people who buying it now, you get all the songs. Now, my songs, I'm going to do soundtracks and stuff. That's not included. Just my records for me. I'm going to end up doing about 40 songs, 3 albums worth. Red Shirt Freshman is my only effort, the living album. Now, when you start hearing niggas jack that, you're going to know that it started here.
From the living album, I just like that whole concept because when you said it, you said a living album, I just think of just life. Just life.
Yeah, man. It's the soundtrack of what you're doing, too. And then, so this is the other part. Everybody talks to me about having a master class or shooting a video. So I decided I am going to make master class for my children. I'm going to record myself and only my heirs can see my videos. But I will give people information on my records. So if you buy my record, I give mix tips in my bars. I'll tell you information. Like, for instance, one of my lines is mix bus, GML. That means go get a George Massenburg equalizer and put it on the mix bus of your SSL console at the end, and then your mix will sound so much better. That's a top secret trick. All you got to do is write that shit down, mix bus GML, go to the studio and say, hey, mix bus GML. The engineer will know exactly what to do. So I can say, like, I got a line where I go, what I said, do it right, keep it tight, keep the 737 on the mic. That means use an Avalon 737 in your mic chain and your voice will sound like mine. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you giving it to him.
I'm selling it to him on my album. I'm not giving it to him. You buy my record, you fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. And so I got a glossary of terms I'm gonna put together, like a cheat sheet for the album. But people, if they listen to my bars and write down the shit they don't understand like that and put them all together, it'll tell you how to mix a record.
Wow. That's a hell of a concept. I'm glad I heard it here first, because as soon as I hear somebody like, nah, you ain't invent that. My man's. Nah.
Yeah, man, I live in the future, man. I don't believe in, and then people, there's a universal consciousness. People have same ideas and similars. I don't really care. They can have that. Everybody's cool. They can have their idea. You know, I didn't do it first. I did. They stole my idea. That was me at 27, bro. I'm not doing that anymore in my life. Great idea. Wish I had thought of it first. Ha ha ha. And they'll be like, oh, that was funny. I did think of it first.
Who's the most who's you had the most enjoyable experience working with, would you say?
Dr. Dre.
Dre. Why is that?
I could be me. I go in the studio. It's me. So people always would ask. I had this question. A guy named Kamara Cambone, he's our keyboard player. He wrote the theme song for Girlfriends. He won an Emmy. He's sitting there asking me, we working, right? And so he play a part and he don't know if it's right. And then when me and Dre got a way of working where when we like something, we look at each other like away. And then I'll go, yeah, lay that or something. So he kept noticing that I had just come into Aftermath. Those guys who had been working with Dre and they didn't know me. So I came in right into a position of power and they start seeing Dre look at me. So Kamara asked me, he says, bro, you know, who's producing, you or Dre? I said, man, it's Dre, bro. He just, you know, we bounce it off each other. You know, who you like it, I like it. We trust each other. He know that I'm not going to give him no bullshit. It's whack for me. I don't like that nigga. You know, we like a certain thing. But so he allows me to be myself. He looks for the best parts of me. He don't come in and try to produce you. He pull out the good shit and go put it with his stuff and then fixes that. And you feel like you part of something. You don't feel like somebody just used you. None of that shit. It ain't like that. It's team effort with that dude. It's amazing. He got a group now, work with him like 7, 8 top producers in one room. I ain't never seen nobody. It's like putting together, remember Warriors and them gangs had to all get together? Man, that shit impossible to get producers to work together, all different producers. He got like 4 dope producers that always work together. I'm like, how did you pull that shit off? Because I don't play well with others at all. I work with Dre, that's it. Everybody else, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
You know, it's what I want. You hired me to do what I do. Damn it.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, man.
Now, what advice would you have for an up-and-coming young producer that's really trying to get their feet wet?
It's about relationships and how people view you. So be careful with your relationships. And it's not about the music. It's about who you know. It's never about the music. Everybody got dope music. It's just like the weed game. Everybody got 30% weed, but they buy sweets because we look like this. We fly. You know, we it. we tell them we're it, and then we're it. You got to know. So the second thing is you got to believe in yourself. Don't nobody know you. Can't nobody tell you how to do you. So, you know, they can just say whatever they want, but it's, you take advice as you want, but you should defer to self when you're trying to come down with an answer or a feeling. Young producers, trust yourself, bro. Don't nobody know what you're trying to do. You do. And you might be wrong more times than right. But when you get that right, without that outside influence, and you believe in yourself, you don't, us, we don't need nobody to believe in us. We just so happen to have wonderful people that do. But I believe in myself. I know what I'm doing is I don't care. I don't need verification. If it doesn't sell, that's because enough people didn't hear it. So every human being is a masterpiece work. Nobody can be nobody else's life. It's a piece. It's even a disastrous life. You know how much work it takes to fall apart or to be jumping off a building to kill yourself? So much shit got to go wrong. It's a masterpiece. I mean, it is. It's fucked up. They got horror movies. Hitler was a horror movie, but he was here. It's still a movie. See what I'm saying? And some people enjoyed it.
Yeah. Facts. True. Some people did.
Some people hated it. Some people buy it to hate it. They enjoy to hate it.
Yeah.
So let's just all be. That's why we're human beings.
Let's all be. That's why we human beings. I love that, man. I love that. We gonna cap it off right there, because that right there, though, you came with a word, man. I know you're gonna inspire like a lot of people, man. And it's, I'll tell you what I loved about our conversation. We talked about music, but it was so much more than music.
Yeah, music. I am music. My boy Pop Brothers at Law. Hey, if you got any weed issues in Ohio, talk to these boys. Mark and Craig, Pop Brothers at Law. Them is my boys, man. My attorneys, and that's my family. They know they roll with this. And they are even promoting my music. That's what kind of support we got in our family, bro. These cats got 1 million followers. They be tossing my shit up like nothing.
Repeat that. Pop Brothers at Law. Let them know.
You got that. That's exactly correct.
Man, that's what's up. So what you got lined up for the rest of the evening? You about to make a move on something?
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, man. I'm going to show you what I got up for the evening. You awake? Come on, let's go. Check it out. I'm in Atlanta, right? So
Okay.
I'm out here working. My girlfriend does training for film and television. She teaches people how to, work in the industry and shit. So we out here, and we got this Airbnb. And so we're trying to, I be hungry, right? So I'm trying to get my thing going. And we out here at the Publix grocery store, bro. Come on, baby. Oh. Let me get her out here real quick. I heard that. I can't even. We trying to go try to do that ourselves. Yeah, I hear that. Man, I tell you. I don't know. People have issues, and look, I expressed my son. People have issues, and they do, but they have issues. I have issues. We all have issues. We all get good. We all get bad. I can't give everybody. I can give some. I have words that are better. I can tell you where to go get some money. I can tell you that this woman is training people to get jobs. Instead of asking for that, you could ask that. But I'm not a judge. I don't judge people. That's situation, you know what I'm saying? They do what they do. But look, we about to roll right up in this. You gonna crack up, bro. Out here, I know you in Ohio, so I don't know if you guys have this, but out here they got Publix. You hit the Publix?
I'm familiar with Publix. We don't have Publix though, but I'm familiar with it.
You from where?
I said I'm familiar with it. We don't have a Publix here.
Oh, but you familiar with Publix?
Yeah.
We're gonna go up in here and cut up. So,
yeah, I've been around a little bit.
You said I've been around. Yeah, man, I got my pick. That is not the screen. That is me. I forgot that I be having my filters. So we rolling up in there. You gonna get a basket? We gonna get it popping, homeboy.
There it is.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, appreciate you, man. And thank you for taking your time out to holler at me on Conversations.
Absolutely, man. I'm an alien in this world. I'm gonna holler back.
All right, you be safe. Peace.
Peace.